Let's make a 3-tier honeycomb pasta cake in honor of 1 million of you supporting me here on TikTok. First, let's make our spicy Italian sausage bolognese. Saute some diced red bell pepper and onion until translucent, then add some minced garlic and cook for another minute, then add your sausage. I clearly chose the wrong size pan for this to begin with. Once that's browned and caramelized, add some tomato paste, caramelize that as well, then add some vodka. Yep, this is an alla vodka sauce bolognese. Once the alcohol smell is gone, add some bone broth and some heavy cream. And don't forget to season along the way. Now you're gonna stack undercooked pecari or rigatoni in 3 springform pans of different sizes. Then fill all the pasta with the bolognese and top with cheese. Bake until the cheese is melted on top and stack with the help of some homemade wooden dowels for structure. Then just release the outer layer from all 3 tiers and add grated Parmesan cheese and fresh basil to serve. Other than the sauce being a little liquidy for this application, this came out so good. What a way to celebrate, am I right?
You will flip out when you see how easy it is to make French toast. And you probably already have all the ingredients, so make it for your mama this Mother's Day. Of course, you'll need some bread, and in a bowl add an egg, some maple syrup, cinnamon, vanilla, and some almond milk. Give it a whisk together and let your bread go for a bath. Let them soak for a few minutes on each side and then pan fry until golden brown. Trust me when I say these are so good, you'll want to have them every Sunday.
Add in your noodles and then just kind of stir them around in the sauce. Crack an egg.
When you try to get the first one in.
Let's do it. Noodles are cooked. Now we melt some butter. Throw in some garlic, soy sauce, red pepper flakes, brown sugar. Weird. Noodles. Stir around. And now we add an egg. The egg has been added. Weird. I added more red pepper flakes. Now some everything but the bagel seasoning. And now we taste test it. Smells good. Wow.
Random things I eat at Yale. For breakfast, we had mini bagels. I spread my cream cheese on with a spoon, and yeah, it was kind of dry, but it's okay. Moving on to lunch, we have the best salad bars. They're literally always so fresh. This week's theme was citrus onion. I got some feta on the side just in case. For the entree, there was a pita and falafel sandwich with tahini. The falafels are always handmade by our chefs and never dry at all. See, they're so moist. And for dinner, there's always a pasta bar. Tonight we had pesto and tomato sauce. I always ask for extra cheese on the side as usual. And to finish the night off, there was brownie pudding and I had it with some ice cream. Come eat dinner with me at Yale. Tonight was fire. Sun-dried tomato aioli and tahini drizzle, say less. Today the salad bar had some crazy avocado thing. We also had baked ziti with fancy grated parm and a mocha espresso cupcake. I started off with my salad and this vacuum-sealed avocado. We've never had anything like this before.
Oh.
Not gonna lie, I was kind of scared, but I got creative, mashed it up, and it tasted just fine. Moving on, we had the falafel sandwich, and the falafels are so crispy. Low-key hard to eat, but I made it through. Next, onto the baked ziti, the parm just took it to another level. I ended off with a cupcake that kind of melted because it was so hot, but it was still so moist and so tasty. I promise. Tonight they even had magic bars too. Tonight was just too good not to film. Thank you, bye!
The best way to roast your potatoes. Use small potatoes and boil until fork tender. Drain off the water and put them in a big bowl. We're going to start with a generous amount of olive oil. You're going to do salt, pepper. We're going to go onion powder, garlic powder, crushed red pepper, fresh basil, fresh thyme. Get that all mixed together and dump it out on a lined baking sheet. Spread them out, give them a little room on every side, and then use a glass to smash them about a ½ inch thick. And then throw them in a 425 degree oven for about 30 minutes, but you're gonna wanna flip them halfway through. And you're gonna end up with a soft interior, crispy exterior, the best roasted potatoes you've ever had.
You're gonna watch me cook for myself. Pomodoro.
3 years ago, I made this pasta for my close friend, Aaron. He was going to pay me, not $3, but $30 because of how much he loved it. I told him, please don't, just do the dishes. And happily, he did. This dish started it all. That made me mindful of what I ate. That inspired me to open my supper club. And most notably, that made me love cooking for others. How ironic.
Let's do some cooking.
This is nature's cereal. I know, it looks very different, but it's completely edible and equally delicious. I'm a little late to the trend, but you know I had to put my own spin on it, so we've turned it into a one-bite transparent ravioli capsule. We all know there's nothing special about nature's cereal. It's just fancy fruit salad. But we've made fancy fruit salad even fancier and turned it into something truly special. We have the sweetness of the blueberries, the tanginess of the passion fruit, and dragon fruit, which adds absolutely nothing to this dish. Seriously, dragon fruit has like no flavor. Our coconut water has been turned into clear coconut caviar with the help of our pipettes, agar, and precision scale, and we use a very thin edible film which we seal with heat in order to keep everything together. Sorry you had to wait for me to do this trend, but good things come to those who wait, and we really save the best for last.
I tried these spicy babimmin noodles so you don't have to. Pour the sauce and mix. Sweet and spicy.
Said she wanted sushi, so I took her to the spot. They roll it up right there, the best raw fish they got. I didn't eat the fish, I had other plans. I hit the dance floor and I did a little dance. Put my hands on my hips, nod my head front to back. That's the sushi roll, it's as simple as that. Hit that sushi roll, sushi roll, sushi roll. Hit that sushi roll, sushi roll. Hit that sushi roll, sushi roll, sushi roll. Do the sushi roll and don't lose control. I want you to know you should let it go. Move your shoulders now, move them with the beat. Keep your hands still, move them with your feet.
Welcome back for part 2. Let's make the icing. Powdered sugar and a little bit of milk. Babies are out of the oven and should look like this. It was honestly so satisfying taking them out and should look like this. Adding some glitter to the mix, and now it's time to dip them. And then of course, dip them in the sprinkles and glitter. I was getting fancy and putting them on a stick for small bites. A little bit of more glitter, and should look like this. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and say hi, let's be friends. Welcome back, it's almost time. Remember this? We're adding powdered sugar and we're adding heavy cream. Should look like this. Taking a cup, putting a little bit of the strawberry paste, adding milk, and I'm adding this into the cup. Should look like this. So pretty. Our little pancakes are ready. Powdered sugar, and we drizzle it all over. We have the bacon. That doesn't look like heart, I'm really sad. Last but not least, we're making an egg. And it should look like this. We're going to wake her up. All right, let's go.
God, my 3 of, oh my God. This is I love, thank you, love.
Welcome back for part 2. We're making the icing. Powdered sugar and meringue powder, and we go for the milk. Just a little at a time. You don't want it to be too runny. Mix, and should look like this. Taking my donuts out, and should look like this. Time to glaze them. Here we go. It's okay if it gets messy, don't you worry. Moving them to the plate, because it's just prettier that way. Ta-da! And of course, the glitter. Should look like this, and I added some dry strawberries. It's just so pretty. Should look like this, and make sure you're following me on Instagram for the recipe. Welcome back for part 2. They're out and should look like this. How cute! And now we cannot forget the glitter. We have to be very generous, otherwise did we even put glitter? It's pink, it's beautiful, it's stunning. Anyways, it should look like this. Guys, more on Instagram. See you there. Bye! Welcome back for part 2. Let's make the icing. Powdered sugar and a little bit of milk. Babies are out of the oven and should look like this. It was honestly so satisfying taking them out and should look like this. Adding some glitter to the mix, and now it's time to dip them. And then of course, dip them in the sprinkles and glitter. I was getting fancy and putting them on a stick for small bites. A little bit of more glitter and should look like this. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and say hi, let's be friends. Welcome back for part 2. We're making the icing. Powdered sugar and meringue powder, and we go for the milk. Just a little at a time. You don't want it to be too runny. Mix, 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 and should look like this. Taking my donuts out, and should look like this. Time to glaze them. Here we go. It's okay if it gets messy, don't you worry. Moving them to the plate, because it's just prettier that way. Ta-da! And of course, the glitter. Should look like this, and I added some dry strawberries. It's just so pretty. Should look like this, and make sure you're following me on Instagram for the recipe.